walk away, yeah, before you get hurt too bad. Look away, yeah, watching her's far too sad. And time doesn't heal nobody. The hourglass can't set you free. Love shouldn't hurt nobody, but somebody's hurt like me. Stay away, yeah. Don't you get close to me. Fade away, yeah. Living in a memory, and I wouldn't hurt nobody. Baby, won't you listen to me? Love is for somebody. Time is gonna lead her to me. I won't confuse her now. I won't try no more. Not to amuse your soul. No goodbye no more.
All right. Welcome, guys, to the Shawn Will Be Here podcast. I'm your host, Shawn Will, and today I will be here with...
Paris McQueen.
All right, Paris McQueen, what are you to everyone who can't read the sign?
I am a professional wrestler, so I like to fall for fun.
Oh, and you like to hurt people.
I do like to hurt people, too. Well, only when they're mean to me, though. And I feel kind of bad afterwards.
Well, I feel like if you're in a competition, everyone's mean to you in a competition, right?
Well, they're not supposed to be, though. I mean, like, friendly sportsmanship. Like, you're supposed to be sportsmanship, like, or,
True,
right?
True. There is professional, like, spar matches, things like that, between friends. So, fair enough. All right. You know, this is an interview-style podcast for anyone who didn't watch last week. We did an episode with drag queen Frida Nips. Please go check that out right now. And we go from drag queen to Paris McQueen. And Paris McQueen, my first question for you is, why wrestling? Like, what was your first memory of, like, was something you did as a child watch wrestling? Or, like, what was your first memory of, like, discovering it?
So, I watched wrestling ever since I was little with my dad.
Mm-hmm.
Me and my dad would always wrestle in the living room. I never really won that figures, right? But I always remember loving The Undertaker.
Yeah.
Specifically The Undertaker's entrance, and whenever he would come out, my dad would always call for me, like, in the bedroom, so I could come and watch The Undertaker.
Dude, my childhood memories was actually quite similar. I believe the first thing I ever saw of wrestling was, I want to say it was, like, Great American Bash, or, like, around that time period at some point. The Undertaker was wrestling, I think, the Dudley Boys. And it was the Paul Bearer in Cement segment was, like, my first thing I ever saw.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was just like, no, Undertaker, why are you killing your friend?
See, I remember Paul Bear. I remember loving Paul Bear because I love just the, oh, yes, that.
You do that too well.
Thank you.
He's possessing everyone.
But, like, one of my earliest memories is actually The Undertaker in Shawn Michaels' match where Shawn Michaels,
The retirement match?
Yeah, the retirement match, actually.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm young. Wow.
Listen, we're both still technically young. I'm 28, but I'm pushing 30 here. You know, that's how I like to tell people. But like at the same time, you know, I think beyond that, right? Because I thought the Undertaker was kind of a bad guy back then. I thought he was cool.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought he was evil. My favorite was John Cena back in the day. I'm not gonna lie to you.
A little basic, but okay.
Yeah, a little basic, right? Whitest thing I could say, right? But I'm not gonna lie to you. I hated JBL. I think he's like one of my favorite villains when it comes to wrestling. So, you know, I've got to ask specifically, why wrestling? Like, what drives you to wrestling over any other form of, like, entertainment? Like, why not do, like, theater or acting or anything else? Why specifically tell your craft and stories in the ring?
I think there's a way to make everything more passionate with wrestling. Like, wrestling, you're in huge feuds, you're in huge matches, and you can settle that all physically, where you can't really do that in stage. Or, like, you can't do it on stage, really. Yeah. I mean, you can, but it's always a little tussle and everything. But I just love how physical that it can become and it can be. And you do the storytelling with the wrestling, you can do it with backstage segments, with promos, and you can just tie it all together and make it big.
The grandeur of it is very interesting, of course, because, like, you know, The Undertaker is an undead wizard. You can't have that in any other form of, like, television, you know what I mean? If The Undertaker is definitely not a character that would ever make sense in, like, The Sopranos or anything like that.
Or, like, Stone Cold Steve Austin or anybody like that. Like, they just don't make sense in any other setting.
Exactly. And I agree with you in that regard. But at the same time, you know, some people would argue that, like, you're throwing your body away. You're throwing, like, the physical impact of it is obviously very hard to deal with for a lot of wrestlers. We've seen wrestlers retire early and still have issues and things like that at different points. And, you know, I'm not asking questions in order here at all, but what is, like, the worst thing about wrestling to you? Is it the physical impact? Is it taking a bump? Is it the travel? Like, is there anything specifically about it that's a drawback to you?
Honestly, the travel. I just don't like driving too much. But that's what I signed up for, right? Like, that's what it is. It is the 3-hour drive, the 4-hour drives, shoot, the 7-8 hour drives I've done before. That's what I signed up to do, but that would be the biggest drawback.
Driving all night to work all day, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And, I mean, obviously you here have 2 belts to show for it, you know? Specifically for somebody who might be watching right now who doesn't connect with wrestling, typically, would you say that there is a difference between being a champion in the sport of professional wrestling versus any other sport? Like, what's the difference between, say, being a champion of wrestling versus being a champion of, like, on a winning football team or on a basketball or whatever, or even golf, like a solo sport? Like, what is the difference?
I don't know if there is one. I mean, you put your time and you put your effort and you put practice into golf, into anything that has a champion, and that becomes a product of what you do. So this is just a product of what I've done and I've trained and I've worked for. So it's the same thing, I would feel.
Would you feel that because wrestling is a little bit more, you know, I'm not saying that golf isn't physical or anything like that, or, like, you know, obviously in football there's the team element and hard hits element. But would you say that there is a passion element of being a professional wrestling champion? Because, you know, in any other sport, you win the championship and then you start again next year at the same level as everybody else. You're always defending, trying to win the championship again, but in wrestling, you hold on to the belt until you lose it, until somebody takes it from you.
I just realized I don't know how championships in other sports works. So, oops, my bad. I don't really watch other sports outside of wrestling. I guess I should have made that really clear. So I would say that it's different because I have to keep this, right?
Yeah.
While they always have something to prove, I also always have something to prove. I always have a new obstacle, a new challenge, a new element that I have to bring in. And I always have to stay on top of my game. I don't get to slip up, where teams, they get to slip up, like they get to have maybe 1 loss or 2 losses, and they can still go to the championships and win. I can't get that. I can't have that.
Yeah. And would you say that winner-takes-all element of wrestling is what drives you to be more passionate about it than, like, and why you don't watch other sports? Is that maybe the reason? the winner takes all legacy element, the fighting for your brand and fighting for your supremacy? Like, how good does it feel to be a champion?
I think it feels amazing to be a champion. Like, once you finally get there and you realize you're at the top, it's such a great feeling. And especially afterwards, knowing that you can just keep defending it and having it. I just think, I don't know, I just think it's amazing to be on top and stay on top and just having to keep proving you're on top.
Heck yeah. So, obviously, one of the things that I like to bring up to people is, we all have inspirations, things that have driven us to be where we are now in life. And I would like to ask, who are your inspirations? Like, can you think of the moment, your aha moment, like where you realized you didn't just like watching wrestling or being a fan of it or anything? Did you ever have can you point out a specific moment where you're like, that's what I want to do with my life?
So, it actually was in 2020. I went to an indie show called War Wrestling, which is actually where I'm now the women's champion of.
Full circle.
Full circle, actually.
Squared circle.
And I just remember sitting there watching somebody wrestle and thinking, this is what I want to do. I've never realized that it was in this area. I never realized that it may be possible for somebody to do. But, oh my God, I want to figure out how to do it.
Heck yeah. And now you've done it.
I have. After literally not even a year of being cleared to start wrestling, I started working at War. Very good company, very great production. And it's such an honor to have been able to start there so early and to be champion after not even over a year, I believe.
Heck yeah. Would you say, do you have a favorite thing about wrestling? Is it being champion, or is it winning matches? Is it meeting fans? Like, what's your favorite thing about it?
I like meeting fans, and I also just love the storytelling of everything. I really, really like storytelling.
Heck yeah. We love storylines. Speaking of that, do you have a favorite moment that you've seen in wrestling? That's like, either favorite match or favorite promo, favorite anything. Like, is there one particular thing from your fandom that stands out in your mind?
For some reason, I think it was the ladders match promo where they were all sitting on the top of the ladder with Alberto Del Rio and Chris Jericho.
Yep. Oh God, wasn't Jack Swagger in that too?
I think Jack Swagger was in it.
Yeah.
And Spanish, or I think was in it. Was that in it?
I can't remember. That was so long ago. Was that in the weird years of 2019? I can't remember. Or was that a year before?
I don't know.
See, listen, I am a big fan of wrestling, but when it comes to the years and specifics, I'm not like, I know there's people online like Template the Wrestler or like anyone from Wrestle Talk who are like very on the nose when it comes to wrestling trivia or whatever. I could never run wrestling trivia at a bar. Do not pick me as your partner.
Oh, no, never.
Yeah. Even if I know the answer, I will blank when I'm on the spot. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I'll be honest, I don't really watch the newer stuff. I like watching, I watch old man stuff. I'm sorry. I like Benoit, and I like that kind of, I like the
hey, it's
split
fine.
the art from the artist.
Yeah.
I like him. And not a good guy, though.
Listen, I will admit, when I was a kid, I loved when he won the world title with Eddie Guerrero, and everything. That moment is still a great moment, but we can acknowledge that, what happened is not good for anything.
No.
But we don't have to get into that.
We don't have to get into that.
No. So that's not what we're here to talk about. We didn't know anyone. We're just fans in that regard. But, moving on quickly, what is your favorite thing that you've been a part of in wrestling so far? Because you've had a lot of great matches. I've seen your matches as well. You've taken some hits. You've won some victories. Is there any specific storyline or moment or anything that stands out in your career so far that's so far is what I have right now?
So most people actually might not know it. I was on, do you know NWA, the Sam Hain pay-per-view?
Yeah.
I was on that pay-per-view.
Wow, really?
Yeah, I was. So I wasn't one of the people, but I was in the Kerry Morton match.
Oh, yeah.
With the headbangers.
Yeah, the headbangers.
Yeah, I was one of the. I was a shot girl. I was told shot girl. Okay, so I came dressed really cute. Everybody else was told bartender.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so they came in like shirts and pants, and I showed up all cute. So if you find the NWA Sam Hain match, I'm the very, very cute bartender.
Look it up.
Look it up.
Somebody online will find it.
You can find it. It's very easy. I find it.
Yeah. You know, I don't think I put this question on your questionnaire, but that's because I wanted to ask about it in general. The word botch has become synonymous with online wrestling memes.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any moment in your wrestling career where you can remember, like, botching yourself or being part of a situation where a planned thing didn't go right, or, like, maybe the ropes were slippery, or, like, somebody fell when they shouldn't have fell?
So, during my match with Steffi Mac, I had moved from a move a little too early, so, it didn't make sense for her to take the bump, so she landed.
Yeah.
And I turned around to make fun of her, to try to save it, and I went, hey! And she immediately kicked me off of the edge of the ring.
Oh, no.
And I saved myself. I saved myself with my feet. My feet caught the bottom rope, and I saved myself from hitting the ground, and it was great. But that wasn't supposed to happen.
Oh, heck yeah. So it was like a nice save, but an unplanned nice save.
It was a very unplanned nice save, but
okay. Botchamania, look that up. Matthew.
Do it!
Got us. You gotta get us, Matthew. But, you know, moving on from that, there have been a lot of people who have tried to get into wrestling, and they come to find out, like, it's a lot harder than it looks on TV. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, with the travel, with the crazy schedule, with the fact you have to work out on top of all that. How do you stay on top of your workout? Even with your crazy dates and crazy schedule and travel and all that.
So I think a good thing to do is time management. And I'm going to be real transparent and say that I don't wrestle full time yet. Like, you can look it up and see I'm not everywhere yet.
Oh, yeah.
I still have a full-time job. And I normally work out on my weekdays. And then I just save my weekends for wrestling. So I work out 5 days a week. Count wrestling as a 6th day. And then have Sunday off.
Yeah. Okay, that's good. Because, listen, even there might be people listening at home who are like, yeah, just working a full-time job is, like, hard enough to find time to exercise. Mm-hmm. Because maybe that's, like, you know, everyone's battery is different. Everyone has different energy levels and things like that, right? So, like, heck, what do you do to stay on top of your time management? Do you have any time management skills that you could pass on that might be unique to you as a wrestler that maybe other people haven't thought of?
So, my time management skill is, I'm autistic.
Yeah, that's pre-programmed, y'all. I'm also autistic, so we get it.
So, like, I just have to get into the routine, and then I just keep the routine. That's all I've done, is just kept that going. But to keep energy levels, the hardest part is getting there. And then taking the pre-workout if you shotgun it. That's, like, the hardest part.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, don't shotgun your pre-workout. It stinks. But that's the hardest part, is just getting there and shot the pre-workout pretty much.
You know, pushing through it all and just getting the thing done, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
I know for myself, for example, I will set, like, my phone, which is filming the wide shot, filming the wide shot right now. But I normally set that to have, like, 1,000 reminders throughout the day to, like, hey, buddy, you put your laundry in, like, 40 minutes ago. You don't want other people in the apartment complex being like, why are you taking all day to get your laundry? Get your laundry, right? So, like, I have to have my phone to tell me to do everything. God forbid if I ever lost that, I'd be like, yeah, I'm not supposed to do anything today. I guess I can just relax, you know? But, you know, with the travel, is there anywhere you've gone so far that has been, like, a standout to you? Like a favorite venue that you've performed at? A favorite ring you've wrestled in?
So I've actually had the honor to go to Destination 6 in Macomb, Illinois, and I'm going back there, I believe later next year, the beginning of next year, I'm going back there. It's in an old church, and they actually have a 6-sided ring, which is pretty cool.
Ooh, you think it's comfortable. See, I've heard that one of the things about the 6-sided ring in TNA, a lot of the podcasts and stuff that I've seen, is that a lot of wrestlers thought it was painful, but you find it more comfortable to work in that ring.
I don't know if it's more comfortable to work in that ring, but it's just such a unique experience, you know? Like, you never get to come across that.
Right, especially it's rarer and rarer, especially with, I assume, square rings being more easier to have access to for promotions. But that's interesting, for sure. Yeah, keep your eyes out for that, especially on her socials for when she does that show. Because Paris McQueen in a 6-sided ring, it just has a nice ring to it, you know what I mean? So moving on, what is the importance of a finishing move?
It just has to be believable, I think. Like, I believe that a finishing move is so important. Like, some people, no offense to some people, but some people, they want to do, like, a punch, right?
Yeah.
So if you're going to do that punch, make that punch better than any of the other punches. And do not repeat that punch until it is the finish.
Right. It's like the Bruce Willis, not Bruce Willis, Bruce Lee. Very weird names to get confused there, guys. I don't know. Not the same guy at all. Bruce Lee was like, I fear not the man who has practiced 1,000 punches. I fear the man who has practiced one punch 1,000 times. It's got to be like, you know, like, I remember Big Show had a knockout punch, but he never won with it. So I'm like, they're not really knocked out then, are they?
Not really, no. I mean, like, because, I don't know. I've just had people, like, their one hits like this, and then their finishing hits, like, at least grab my face and hit me or something. Like, get it a little different.
Yeah, like, have a different way about things. I feel you. What's your finishing move?
So my finishing move is actually the Rude Awakening. It is a sit-out neck breaker.
Ooh, neck breaker. She'll send you to the hospital.
It was actually Rick Rude's,
Yes, the legendary Rick Rude, you know, used to go around spray painting. This is true for anybody who is watching and not a fan of wrestling. Look him up. Would go around spray painting people's, like, airbrushed people's faces on his crotch, and then would just, like, gyrate his crotch around for the camera. It was wonderful. Yeah. That's a little bit before our time, even. Like, that's, my parents know who Rick Rude are, you know? And, like, wrestling is constantly moving, constantly changing, right? And one of the things about wrestling is actually, there are a lot more opportunities for women now than there used to be, right?
Absolutely.
But, of course, when I was first watching wrestling, I can remember, for example, my mom had to awkwardly explain to me why the women take off their clothes sometimes on TV.
HLA, HLA,
yeah.
HLA.
So, I feel like back in the day, back when I was watching wrestling, there was a stigma about women's wrestling, right? Mm-hmm. Would you say that working now in the industry, is that stigma still there? Do people still sometimes think it's like, oh, TNA, but not the other kind of TNA? Right? But do they still have that stigma? Or is it now when people come to wrestling shows, they expect athleticism, that nobody gets any, like, pulled punches or anything?
I believe it's gotten so much better, but I won't lie and say that stigma is still there. There is still, like unfortunately, even for men, there are fetish wrestling. That is literally professional wrestling that's fetish. People expect that. The last show I was at, like, not last show I was at, but a show I was at a couple weeks ago, people were literally yelling, take your clothes off during my match.
Don't do that.
No, don't do that. So I believe it's gotten a lot better, but I do believe that stigma is unfortunately still there.
Right. You're always going to have assholes in every group, right? And, you know, fetish wrestling, I mean, you talked about it, because it's like, heck, look at the entire character of Goldust, you know what I mean? Come on, we're not stupid. You know, it's everything's a weird fetish to somebody. You know what I mean? Like, just their feet people. The fact that exists is weird to me. But hey, I won't kink shame, right? It's like what you like, but don't be weird about it at shows in public, y'all. That's the whole thing. moving on from that topic, speaking of fan interactions, have you ever had an interaction with a fan that may have been weird or stood out, even like for better or for worse? Is there any fan interactions you can remember, stories?
So my first match I was a manager for. And I remember it was at ASWA, and this guy came up to me and had this tattoo on my arm. It was of a cow.
Mm-hmm.
And he looked at my tattoo, he goes, I like your tattoo. Your skin's so soft.
Oh, no.
And I have never forgotten that.
Yeah, that would be seared into my memories for, like, I would put that guy on a list. I would be like, hey, he's not allowed back.
I was like, oh, this is my audience, huh? This is great. I'm so glad.
Hey, well, you know what? Love the fans.
It's gotten a lot better. I love you guys now. You guys are great now. But before, ooh, that was a little scary.
Right, yeah. I can imagine. So, you know, in wrestling, there's a lot of voices, especially now that, like, we've reached a new, more pulled back curtain type of era in the modern era. There's always somebody who has a podcast. Like, I have a podcast, and I'm not even in wrestling, but here I am hosting wrestlers, right? But there's a lot of retired people who have their voices out there. There's a lot of current people who have their voices out there. Just a lot of talking heads. Mm-hmm. How do you find, which ones do you listen to? Like, who do you take advice from, if anyone? How do you decide whether or not this old retired guy has good advice or is he out of touch?
So I listen a bit to William Regal. I decided that pretty much based off their professionalism and their career. I mean, if they've been a professional and they don't really have, like, that's just it though. They're professional and they have the good advice like that you need, and you hear it from everybody else too, like the good advice. And this man's carrying that good advice too.
Oh yeah.
Everything else must be not everything, but.
So you would say a person's reputation for professionalism is like kind of important to you when you take advice from somebody.
Absolutely, that's what I mean. Thank you.
Yeah. Cool. So like, for example, if like I'm not trying to pick Joe Schmo, but let's say Joe Schmo is like an old retired guy who is like known for picking fights backstage, and like everyone says, yeah, but he doesn't know what he's talking about. You're just like, also like, okay, then yeah, he's probably an idiot.
I mean, you can take everything somebody says with a grain of salt. You can still listen to somebody, and you can still potentially take good advice out of them. I just wouldn't listen to everything that person maybe says. And
true. Even a stopped clock is right twice, right? Moving on from that, funny thing is about like having different talking heads and everything like that, right? One of those things is that you never really know whether or not those talking heads are trying to make a work out of things or not, right? Because everybody's always working. Everybody always has an angle, everything like that, right? Do you ever find it's hard while being a professional wrestler to separate what somebody angling for a storyline versus what's real?
I don't, but I know others think I do. At the end of the day, you're playing a character. Like, I believe I know where my character stops and I begin.
Yes.
And I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. Unless like they're actually calling out the person and it looks legit and it looks like a shoot, I'm gonna assume it's just a storyline. Like, which I think everybody should. That's what I think.
Right. Do you feel some people, to steal a phrase from, let's say, a not genuine source or anything, people work themselves into shoots sometimes?
I believe so. I believe people's minds can be their own like worst enemy, and then they can just work themselves into, well, this person must hate me. It must be this kind of way because that's what my brain says.
Speaking of works and shoots, I actually have a list here of people you've worked with or people you might work with or respect or, people in the wrestling space. And because wrestling is about storylines and characters, I'm wondering, Paris McQueen, would it be okay if I list off some names and you can just, to the camera, tell them what you think of them. Either it's somebody you worked with before and they're like a good person. Maybe it's a nice thing. Maybe it's a, hey, I like that person. Or maybe, like, I mention a name of somebody and you're like, we'll see. You know what I mean?
Yeah, give my honest opinion. I got you.
Yeah. Yeah, cut a promo if you want to, or just shoot your shot, whatever. I'm just curious, right? We'll start with some fun ones.
Okay.
Right? People that don't work in the indie scene. We'll start with Rhea Ripley.
What a woman. She is beautiful, and honestly, like, that is also probably one of my idols to look up to. I want to not look like her, but like that body type is something that I hopefully one day would like to be.
It's a athletic goal.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yes, 100%. Let's move on to another fun one.
Okay.
Before we get too serious, the AEW Women's Champion Toni Storm.
What a woman! Again. God, she's just beautiful, isn't she? And she's so good at cutting promos. But I love watching her stuff, and I do take inspiration like from her promos and stuff.
All right. Now I'm gonna go through this list here, right?
Okay.
I will be honest with you. If I feel like I'm butchering a name, I might do that because I suck at names sometimes.
Okay.
But at the same time, let's start with Austin Elm.
So Austin Elm is my old manager from Battle on the Border, my SIMP, my towel boy. He is a trainee of one of my old trainers, and I am so proud of him. He's getting so far in the wrestling industry, and he's just doing amazing.
Heck yeah.
Yes, you can see him at War, September.
Checking notes.
Something.
Notes checking.
September
music.
6th.
September 6th. All right. Moving on. What about the name Gideon Hayes?
So Gideon Hayes is another trainee that I know from my old trainer. He is also going very far. He reminds me, I really hope that if he sees this, he doesn't take offense, but he knows that I mean it very well. He reminds me a lot of Rhino.
Oh. Rhino is, gore. So, that's not a bad thing at all in my eyes, right? Moving on. The lovely Miss Larkin.
Beautiful girl. Amazing promo cutter. She's in OVW right now. I believe she is doing something with Sophia Rose. I am also very proud of her, and I do hope I can work with her at some point in the future. We've crossed paths. We've almost worked with each other. She came out in a gauntlet match as I went out of a gauntlet match, so.
Yes. So, is it Tensai? Tenshi,
I've had a couple run-ins with her. She was a little spooky at first. She has a little bit of scary makeup, but she's okay now. I'm sorry I disrespected you because she bowed for me because she does like Chinese makeup, and I'm sorry that I might have offended you and didn't bow back to you at first. So.
Yes. Apologies then, and apologies for me butchering your name. It's a Caucasian trait we have. Apologies. Moving on. Danny Jax.
So, I've also had a few runs with Danny. She let me get kidnapped at V1P, so that was nice.
Kidnapped?
I got kidnapped. Yeah, I got kidnapped at V1P. And Danny just let me get kidnapped. Thanks, Danny.
Should we call the cops? Is that like?
No, I guess I'm here, so
okay.
Like they let me go for a little bit. I'm gonna have to go back. I think. I don't know.
Oh, they kicked their ass for kidnapping you?
Yeah, I think.
Okay, that sounds about right. That's how things work out.
I think. I don't know.
What about Sebastian LaShawn?
Her promos are they're so funny. I love her promos right now so much. She does at Mega, she does a gimmick with, I cannot remember his name right now, but he does like a therapist gimmick, and I love it so much. I've fought her once. I hope I can fight her again. She's just amazing. She's so athletic too. You gotta look her up. She does flips and stuff.
All right. How about This is a recent opponent of yours, C-Rex.
C-Rex. So C-Rex, she was, when she wasn't pounding my head into the ground, she was very lovely. Very nice girl. I've met her before when I went to Tennessee, actually. So it was very cool. Kind of came full circle around being able to have a main event match with her at the ladies' night in PWK. It was lovely to finally see her again.
All right. Couple more names here, and then we're to be done. What about Harley Fairfax?
So I've known Harley since I first started wrestling. Since I first started training, she helped a little bit with my training. I've never gotten to face her in a one-on-one match, actually, even though we've known each other for a bit.
Right, you were in a fatal four-way with her, correct?
I was in a tag match with her.
Tag match, correct. Sorry, it looks the same on Cage Match.
It's okay. It's a tag match, and then I was also in a Rumble with her.
Yes.
But I would love to face her in a one-on-one match eventually. I hope maybe War brings her back. That would be pretty cool, or maybe another promotion that I go to in the future has her.
Yeah. Obviously you're going to have plenty of challengers coming after you in that beautiful gold and that belt, right? Both belts, both Battle of the Border and War. You're going to have so many challengers that you'll know. Now let's talk about another name. Cassie Clay. How Paris McQueen, how do you feel about...
Oh, I didn't mean to hit that hard. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Battle on the Border. That's my bad. How I feel about Casey Clay.
Oh, Casey Clay. I'm not even saying the name right. What is this you're handing me? Is it broken glass?
So that is a mirror that Casey Clay hit me with 2 days ago at PWK because she knew that she could not beat me on her own for the women's PWK heavyweight, well, not heavyweight, but PWK women's belt.
She hit you over the head with this?
She hit me over the head with it. It broke. And you know what? In October at Hollowmania, it's me, the SSB, Paris McQueen versus Drop Dead Gorgeous Casey Clay in a no DQ street fight match.
Is that news here?
Not news a bit. I mean, I announced it at PWK when I was there.
Oh wow, but still, it's listen, it's not every day I get to talk about a no disqualification match on my podcast. So you're telling me like this girl needs to prepare for a reckoning?
I want tables, I want trash cans, I want chairs, I want whatever you can get your hands on PWK because it will be hell. It will be the biggest women's match of the year, the biggest match in PWK history.
Wow. Okay. Well, at the risk of bringing things down, because I seem to have... I didn't mean to bring that out of you. I apologize. I did... I was just trying to have some fun, bring up some lists of names. I didn't, of course, foresee that happening. So let's move on, right, to maybe some more light-hearted questions. What are your current career goals, besides from smashing in, was it Cassie? Casey. I'm so sorry. Casey. Besides, maybe I don't even care what your name is, because you hurt my friend. You press the nut button? You press the nut button of all times.
I wanted to break the time. I can't be angry for too long. I'm sorry.
Right. No, I get it. What are your current career goals, besides from smashing them in the face?
I want to get my name out there more. I would like to work for bigger promotions. I currently do have things hopefully in the works for some bigger promotions that people can stay tuned to hopefully see.
Yes.
But that'd be great. I have a lot of debuts that I'm making. But right now my career goals are pretty much just to grow my name and grow my brand and have people see me more.
Right. And as a professional wrestler, your name and your brand is probably the most important thing to you, right? How challenging is it in modern 2025 wrestling to stand out in the crowd? Is it how do you manage to like bring your name up above everyone else?
So, something that promoters have told me that they like is that they do like my storytelling. I try to do as much storytelling as I can because I feel like that's what brings the people in. Like you can have names, you can have this is just me naming names. This is no offense to anybody at all. Like you could have like Jack Fawn, you could have Aaron Williams, you could have all these names, but unless like they give you a story, that's what's going to bring more people in.
Exactly. For example, I have not watched much wrestling in the last couple of years. What draw me back to wrestling, watching it, was the storyline on AEW with Heyman Adam Page and Swerve Strickland. Because I watched a man's house get burned down, and like, how can you not be interested after that, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's how crazy things get in the world of wrestling sometimes, right? So speaking of like both WWE and AEW, is that like, what are your aspirations when it comes to the end goal of your career? Is the end be all to make it onto TV at some point? Is it like, do you want to get like to a WWE, a TNA, a New Japan, or like what is the goal for you? AEW, anything?
So I think that's everybody's goal in the end, isn't it? There wouldn't be a reason to put our bodies through that if our goal wasn't to end up making it somewhere.
Right.
It would be nice to make it to like WWE because that's where I was. That's what I watched as a kid.
Of course.
No offense to AEW, just AEW to me, it's just not the type of wrestling I'm into. I believe it's a different type of wrestling.
Right. And hey, no tribalism in the comments below, because we're fans of wrestling, of all wrestling here. Joshi wrestling, Lucha Libre, like, you know, watch what you watch, don't be a dick.
Yeah, absolutely. And people can have their own opinions, and that's okay. People might not like my wrestling either, and that's okay. Yeah, absolutely. But that would be like, maybe TNA. TNA would be pretty cool.
Hell yeah.
I think I've met someone from, like, just in passing, I met someone from
yeah.
So that'd be cool. But that would be, I guess so.
Do you have any hobbies outside of wrestling? Because, you know, this is a very busy career, right? And, of course, you said you work a whole full-time job. I'm sure with all the work you do, even with it not being full-time as a wrestler, you know, having the job, having that as well with the working now, there's got to be some times where, you know, you just go, no, I need to do something for myself, right? What do you do to, like, just unwind, to relax? Like, do you have hobbies?
So I tried biking, and then I fell off a bridge. So now I just play Jurassic Park simulators, so.
Yeah, you know, maybe stick to the Jurassic Park simulators then.
I'm getting a new bike soon, though, so that should make it better.
Because maybe all of your hobbies shouldn't hurt you, because I know you get paid to, like, fall off of things for a living.
I didn't get paid for that bridge.
You didn't get paid for the bridge. I don't think a bridge can... And listen, a bridge is never going to sell for you, okay?
They're not, but let me tell you what. All right, I'm telling you this to this camera. Hold on. I'll come over to this camera. Listen, if you ever need headphones, Samsung RE did not fall to my ear that entire time I was falling off that bridge. They were great.
Sponsored, not sponsored.
Not sponsored, but they were great if you need a pair of headphones.
Yeah.
That's my recommendation.
Yeah. You broke the fourth wall there.
I'm passionate enough about those headphones to break the fourth wall on that one. They're great.
Yeah, alright, fair enough. You know, for anybody who, like, might have wanted to become a wrestler at some point and is watching this, is there any advice you would give to somebody who's thinking about trying out wrestling, who's thinking about maybe going to a wrestling school, checking it out? Any thoughts there, advice-wise?
So, I have advice, and then people might get mad at it, but you have to be committed. Gosh dang it, you have to be committed. Go to the gym, go to the practice. Don't just show up to a show after 2 practices and go, I can be a wrestler, because you're going to be dangerous. Just commit, work out, so that way you can protect yourself and your opponent.
Yeah.
Go to training and get trained by a reputable person. And that's my advice.
Get your reps in, pay your dues, all that good stuff.
Set up some rings.
Yeah. It's, because you can't expect to, like, I took one class or I watched a YouTube video and now I'm the best ever at this, right? No one's stone cold day one out the gate.
No, absolutely. And it took me 2 years to graduate. Like, to stop training, it took me 2 years.
Right.
And people expect to do it in, like, 2 weeks, and that's just not feasible.
I once tried professional wrestling training, and I just couldn't do it because my body just was not capable of taking the bumps, right? And that's a lot of things, is that you have to also be willing to understand that, like, this business is not for everyone, of course.
No, absolutely not. And, like, at the end of the day, like, I got hit in the head of a mirror. I got suplexed on a floor. And
That's not tracking broken glass through my house, is it?
No, no. And everything that should have broke off when it got hit me in the head.
Good,
so,
good. Okay.
So, like, I've taken these bumps, and I've come back week after week to do it again. I took the suplex on the floor. Next week, I'm wrestling again. I'll wrestle after this one.
You know, what is the worst bump Paris McQueen has ever taken?
I don't know, because they never feel bad. As long as, like, you don't botch them, they don't feel bad. So I guess, like, afterwards, it would be the suplex on the floor or getting hit in the head with the mirror. Because
So recent.
Yeah, well, because the suplex on the floor.
Yeah, and that mirror is thick. That's, like, real, guys. That's not a prop. That's not a breakaway. Like, that's not gimmicked.
No, neither of these hurt until the next day.
Oh, yeah. So it's the long-term effects that is the more dangerous aspect of it.
Yeah.
Right. So, you know, that said, we talked about career goals, anything like that. But I'm just curious, out of anyone in the world right now, if you got, like, a forbidden door opened and the devil was like, I can guarantee the dream match tomorrow. Like, anyone you call out from any company, any person working right now in this business that you could have a match with tomorrow, who would you want to have that match with? Who would you cash in your Devil's contract on?
If I'm going to be honest and, like, I have to pick right now, I would pick Mr. Iguana.
Mr. Iguana?
I would pick Mr. Iguana because I would want to do a puppet spot with him.
Dude, I freaking... Oh my god. I loved the little spot where... Who was he wrestling that also had their own...
Demonito?
Yep, Demonito. Yep. Oh my god. That was insane. I'm sitting here, I'm almost 30, and I'm popping for puppets in wrestling.
But Demonito ate him.
I know. It was like the betrayal. Oh man, I love Mr. Iguana. I'm not gonna lie to you. I really want him to hit main roster just because I want to like.
That'd be amazing. Make him the tag champ.
I need him on main roster because, like, I don't know why. I just feel like he would annoy the crap out of Dominic Mysterio, and that'd be fun. That'd be fun.
Is AJ and because I haven't really seen much current wrestling. I'm sorry. Is AJ still doing the thing with Dominic where he's waiting to get cleared? I
think they just had their match not too long ago.
Dang it! That was so good.
Yeah, either that or they. I'm not sure. I'm not watching right now either. I'm not gonna lie to you. I've been watching. Again, no tribalism, but I'm more of an AEW fan, and so I'm not caught up on WWE. I think they're doing Clash in Paris tonight.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's on Peacock. I think I have Peacock. I'll watch that.
At the time of recording, right? So this doesn't come out for another 2 weeks, so by the time that comes out, we'll have spoilers and everything. But, like, I'm more looking forward to the All Out coming up, because just Darby versus Moxley is a match I have been waiting for. Darby Allin versus John Moxley, better to some WWE fans as Dean Ambrose, former Shield member. There's a lot of good things going on in the world of wrestling. Like, hell, Slammiversary just had, for TNA, their highest ever draw. Wrestling has never been more popular, right? So speaking of that, if anyone wants to get in on the crazy train of wrestling, right, and they want to come see you specifically, What are some events and dates you have coming up that people can come and check you out at?
Oh my goodness, let me pull those up for you right now.
We're pulling up the list because it's a lot.
So, September, I don't know when this is going to come out. So September 6th, you can find me at War Wrestling. V1P on the 13th. The 19th and 20th is Forever Pro in Battle on the Border. Mm-hmm. And then you can catch me the 21st, 22nd, 25th for CIW. The 26th PWK and the 27th Battle on the Border. And then my big match is October 25th, PWK's Halloween Mania, this SSB Paris McQueen versus Drop Dead Gorgeous Casey Clay.
Or as you want her to, Drop Dead.
Thank you.
Oh, man.
Funny, I'm not the first person to tell her that, I was told, so.
Well, you know, if she's going around hitting people in the head with mirrors, she's making a trend of it. So, like, what else do you expect? You can't just hit somebody in the head with a mirror. The fact that you're not in jail means that this woman has enough grace to deal with you herself, alright?
Well, I'm also, like, in wrestling, who puts people in jail? Who puts people in jail?
I've seen a few wrestlers get taken away in handcuffs.
They never really get put in jail. I mean, Dominic, I guess, did.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just saying, you have options. You could have pressed charges if you wanted to.
I could have, but you know what? I'm a fair woman. I am a fair fighter, and I want that championship because that championship means everything to PWK fans because the champion is everything. Right. The woman makes a championship, and you are not a champion, Casey.
Well, you're eventually, I can tell, going to be the 3-time champion, the belt collector, Paris McQueen.
You better watch out, Mercedes Monet, because here I come.
You guys, it's you versus her. You versus her.
She'd take all my... Tony Khan would write it, and she'd take my belts. That's all that would happen. She'd just take my belts.
Well, hey, we all have our projects. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then I would lose all the belts.
All right, so... Is there anywhere online that if people wanted to, you know, stay up to date on all things Paris McQueen that they can find you? Like an Instagram, Facebook, anything like that you want to plug right now?
So you can find me on Facebook. My Facebook is Paris McQueen. I don't have a verified checkmark, so don't look for the verified checkmark, but I should be the only profile because I'm not that popular yet. On my Instagram, I am SSB McQueen. It should be the same for my YouTube. And then I had a TikTok, but it's all old. So if you find that one, good luck.
All right. So we are coming to the end of my written questions. I only have one that I missed out earlier. And this one is, you know, back and forth a lot of people had in wrestling. The old debate of it's the person that makes the belt or it's the belt that makes the person. Which one do you think it is?
I think the person makes the belt. I mean, if the champion isn't believable, is that a championship then? Is that championship valid? I mean, if you have a champion that doesn't behave or look like a champion and they're coming in and beating people that look like they should be the champion, is that really believable or is that championship actually good? So
it's less of a paper championship and more of paper men holding those paper championships.
I believe so.
Or women.
Yeah, or women. When I was granted both of these belts, which I'm very thankful that I'm able to have the opportunity to hold both of them, I wanted to make it a point of making and elevating these divisions now to be something bigger and something better. And that's, I feel, hopefully what we're doing and bringing that in.
Right. And it's like, you know, those championships... Obviously, just as a fan, I know that the legacy of a title is a heavy weight to carry, and I don't even mean just the physical weight. Those things are heavy. I'm not kidding with you. I could work out with one of those things. It's heavy.
The men's belt's heavier. I got to hold the men's belt when they first brought it in, and I dropped.
Yeah. Both belts are heavy. I could, listen, the fact that you walk around and you're just, like, dual-wielding belts... You know what I mean? It's like, criminy. And they don't even hold your pants up. So like,
No.
they're so impractical. So impractical are wrestling championships, but they're pretty.
I think this one's too big for me, and then I think this one just fits me. So they don't hold my pants at all.
No, they're bad for. They're pretty championships, but they make bad belts. You know what I mean?
Gosh dang it! Good thing I don't wear big pants.
Yeah, right. By the way, we're at the end of my written questions, but I also just thought about your wrestling gear. Your wrestling gear is amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I just, aesthetics wise, it's one of those things where you have to ask, like, how do you come up with your look when you're wrestling? Like, does somebody design your gear for you? Do you design your own? Like, how does a wrestler put the look together?
So my first 2 pieces of gear I got were both jumpsuits. All my gear is from I'm sorry if I say it wrong. Cocorti Clothing.
Mm-hmm.
And first I got my 2 jumpsuits, and I was just trying to develop like this evil queen kind of look, and I was never really happy with it. And then I created a Cars gimmick, like the Cars look that I normally use, and that was just, I thought it'd be funny. I'm Paris McQueen. I want Lightning McQueen gear.
Yeah.
And then my newest gear, I just kind of wanted to look like a Powerpuff Girl and be cute.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah.
Both looks are amazing, and I guarantee you, I have shown a clip of you you were taking a move in the clip, but I showed it to a friend of mine because he had kids, and his kids are into wrestling, and I wanted to point out that I know wrestlers, and I showed him a clip of you taking a bump in your McQueen gear, and they thought, because they were young enough, they were like, no, I want Lightning McQueen to win.
See, and that's the amazing thing too, is I try to make, like, I do like a stink face, okay, which is a kind of an adult move, like, let's be honest.
But it's goofy, though.
It is goofy.
The kids love it because it's just like, listen, as a kid, I was like, ha ha ha, butt and face, Like, it doesn't have to be adult. It can be just goofy.
But I think you do have to cater to a younger audience. And I think that's, like, something I want to bring up, like, in success in being a wrestler, is you have to listen to the audience. Whether you want to or not, you have to listen to them. And you're still going to have fun no matter what. You just have to listen.
And at the end of the day, right, even if you do have a young audience, it's parents, right? Because
absolutely.
If a parent, for example, doesn't want their child, say, watching a death match, don't bring your kid to a death match, right?
Right.
You're aware ahead of time of what's on the card, typically, right? And if you bring your child to a street fight and then you're upset that they saw somebody get hit in the head with a stop sign, that's kind of on you. You know what I mean? Don't put yourself in that situation. But at the same time, it's like, wrestling is very much for kids most of the time, I would say. But at the same time, there are genres to it, right?
Right, absolutely.
There are comedy matches, there are hardcore matches, there are, you were just in a street fight, right?
Well, not a street. No, I'm going to have it in October.
Yes.
The match that I had, she was disqualified because she hit me with the mirror.
Right, but you're planning. Sorry, I misspoke entirely. What I meant to say is that, like you just said, you're going to have a no disqualification match in October.
Absolutely.
That's going to get hardcore. There's no way in heck that's not getting hardcore. How do you prepare for the unpreparable?
Oh, I'm shitting my pants. I am pooping them hardcore right now.
Clean up on aisle Paris.
So my plan is, I plan on honestly upping. I just upped my protein. I'm going to the gym more. I'm preparing myself to be the bestest, the strongest, the smartest, because that's the only way you can get through a street fight no DQ, right? Is you have to outthink, you have to outsmart, you have to outlive pretty much your opponent.
You have to be the livestest.
You have to be the livest.
Yeah, wow, that's a lot of estises. Wow, my head's spinning after that. And I don't have any more written questions, but I'm just curious myself, right? I think one of the things people don't realize a lot of the time when it comes to, especially on the indie scene, is that there's not just the work being done inside the ring during the performance, right?
Right.
Like, all of you guys work together to set up the shows, right? What would you say that, like, there is camaraderie built when tearing up or tearing down? Because I know I used to work at a haunted house, and building the rooms in the haunted house were some of my favorite parts. Or, like, you know, community theater, building sets for the theater. How important would you say tearing up and tearing down the ring is as part of that experience is for an indie wrestler to go through?
Well, you got to pay your dues. I mean, at the end of the day, like, this is your career, right? And I believe that's a part of your career is helping tear down and build and tear down your workspace. So I believe it's a very important aspect of professional wrestling to do, I think.
Yeah. I think it's I've heard I want to say it was Bret Hart was on a podcast, and he said that, like, he encourages people to do it because it helps them physically know how the ring works, right? Because you can get a sense of working in the ring. Again, this is just from a fan perspective, from hearing other people say things, but I think it was something along the lines of, like, you get one perspective running the ropes, but then you get another perspective when you take the ropes apart, and then you realize, oh, it's all just one rope, and it's not just, like, segments or something, you know what I mean? Like, learning if it's a elevator cable inside of there, or if it's just a regular rope with duct tape around it, you know what I mean? Like, the makeup of the different ropes in the ring, right? Because I think WWE, like, uses a cable, for example.
Oh, I think WWE uses real rope.
Do they use real rope?
I'm pretty sure WWE uses real rope.
Oh, well, then I don't know what I'm talking about.
I normally use, because we normally use cable, and I feel like I was told WWE uses real rope. Maybe I'm wrong.
Okay. Listen, I don't know, but the fact of it is that different places you go have different makeups of the ring, right?
Right.
So it's like, heck, even some places might have a softer mat than other people will, and that might be good or bad for your momentum, right?
No, give me a softer mat, honestly. Like, don't give me the tiny, like, don't give me the shitty little mat. Like, I like the big mat. Give me the big mat.
But doesn't the little tweaks and little differences, and, like, as a wrestler, do you feel the differences from ring to ring?
Oh, absolutely. You can go in a ring and tell if it's a bad ring or a good ring. I mean, if you walk in a ring and then your one foot's up here and your one foot's down here, you're like, well, this is a bad ring to start with. You feel pockets in the ring, you're like, well, guess we're not hitting that. You hit the ropes, you almost fall out of them. You're like, okay, well, nobody do rope stuff tonight. I love Battle on the Border so much, but I will say that for a bit, the ropes didn't work.
Oh.
And that was kind of hard for, like, 2 or 3, I don't remember, maybe 2 or 3 shows? Maybe I'm wrong.
But it's gotten better.
It's gotten better. They have ropes now.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Denim.
We thank you, Denim.
Thank you, Denim!
So, you know, that brings me to the end of my questions, which means at this point, we can either start to wrap things up, or if you have anything else you'd like to say before we get done, any call outs that you haven't already made, any statements or any, like, shout outs or anything like that?
I don't think so. Like, my most active thing right now is just with Casey. Everything else, I think I'm just starting up. Battle on the Border has a women's tag team championship that they should be debuting, and we should have the tournament starting soon.
Are you going to be in that tournament? Are you going to team up with anybody and go after them?
I already have a tag team partner. My tag team partner is Madison Payne, the Cherry Bomb.
Ooh.
She is an amazing 16-year-old. She has been training for a very long time, and I forget how long she's been wrestling for, so sorry, but I know she's been wrestling for a very long time.
Yeah, but 16, that's very
16.
young to be in the business.
Absolutely, and she is so amazing. Honestly, me and her are currently, well, not currently, but we were in a feud with the Kings, who are a bit newer to pro wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
They are the Kings Militia, and she is amazing help leading them. She's the main one that helps lead them. Mm-hmm. And she's just amazing, an amazing 16-year-old, honestly.
Wow. And, you know, maybe you guys can add more belts to your collection.
That's the plan. I mean, I'm a bad guy there, but that's the plan, is to add more belts.
Hey, you know, as Wreck-It Ralph once said, you're a bad guy, and that doesn't mean you're bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm just better than everybody, and
Yeah.
that's it. And you just need to remember that, and that's it. So.
I forget the creed, but it's like, I'm bad, and that's not bad. It doesn't make me bad. I'm good, bad guy. Good, bad, good. Bad. Wreck-It Ralph. I wreck Ralph. That's how Wreck-It Ralph happens, right? You've seen that?
Not the second one.
Oh. Who cares about the second?
Isn't that the second one?
Who cares about Disney sequels? I literally.
Wasn't that in the second one?
No, I think there's like a thing where he's like falling from the sky and he like. I just remember he punched a mountain of mementos and like made like Coca-Cola explode.
I'm thinking of them having the AA meeting.
They have an AA meeting?
Yeah, because I thought that was the bad guys' AA meeting. Is they're like, I'm not a bad guy. I'm just.
This ending for the podcast has gone off the rails. That's entirely my fault. I shouldn't met Wreck-It Ralph in wrestling. It doesn't work.
Now I want to know what. Did they not have an AA meeting in Wreck-It Ralph?
They do have an AA meeting because like Dr. Eggman and Bowser from Mario's in it. I remember now.
I'm so smart. Oh my god, the smartest, the sickest, the bestest.
Wait, Dr. Eggman's an alcoholic? Oh, we're ending this episode on a plot twist, ladies and gentlemen. All right, that's all for this episode of the Shawn Will Be Here podcast. I've been Shawn Will. You've been Paris McQueen. And thank you for being here. Be here next time. Bye.
Hey, have you to end this? Have you ever seen the Elvis thing where he's like, "Lord help me," and he like deep throats the microphone?
That microphone's too big. Don't deep throat that. You'll hurt yourself.
Bye.
Just to help validate that everyone in the room is real, on the count of 3, shout your favorite war crime. 1, 2, 3. Oh my God, nobody's real! I'm imagining everything! Oh my God, okay.
Rumbling Cup, September 13th, live at Frankie's.
Be there!
Be there! Comedy battle of the century, the Rumbling Cup, September 13th. 32 comedians go head-to-head live, $15. RumblingCup.com.
Alright, thank you for checking out this week's episode of the Shawn Will Be Here podcast. This is Shawn Will. I have been here, and I will continue to be here. The champ is here. If you would like to continue supporting all things the Shawn Will Be Here podcast, even though I just said fuck you, please subscribe to the channel. Spread the word around. The more viewers I get, the more legitimacy this podcast get, the better guests we can get, the more guests we can reach out to. We're trying to level things up here. But help me level up. You gotta help me, brother. Come on, help me. So, just keep checking on back. We've already got the first episode up. It's a little bit long and a little bit new to figure out the podcasting game, but it was me and Miss Frida Nips speaking on. So yeah, check it out. All right. Peace.